Hello, everyone. This is Kerwin, and welcome to another episode of Travel Talk. In today's episode, we're going to talk about airport slash airline etiquette. Let's go. This is an American Airlines cabin. I can't remember which one of the airplanes it is, but this is the first class and the economy class cabin. Uh, when I travel, I see a lot of people doing a lot of crazy things. And so it is always interesting to see how people behave on airplanes. So I thought I'd do this one about airplane etiquette. Um, the if we talk about the airplane itself, the first thing is that when you get on the plane, sit your butt down and put your stuff away. Don't be turning around and um, you know, causing a scene in essence. The other piece of the airplane etiquette is uh when you well, I guess before we do the airplane, we can do it outside. When you're boarding, wait your turn. There really is there is no reason for you not to wait your turn. You paid for that ticket that puts you in group 9. So you know what? You need to wait for group 9. I was boarding recently and they were boarding group 1, and this lady had group 4, and she was standing right at the part to get in. It's like, lady, they have group 4. You have group 4. They just started doing group 1, and it was an American Airlines hub to hub. And so group 1 is a very long, it's a lot of people. So there's gonna be at least 100 people is gonna board before it's your turn. So step away. But people just don't think that way. The other thing is, you've boarded in your correct group. You're on the plane, and the first thing people do is put their foot on the bulkhead. But it's not just their foot, which is bad enough. They've taken off their shoes and they're barefooted and they're putting their barefoot on the bulkhead. Gross. So gross. Don't do that. Speaking of barefoot, do not take your shoes off on the plane. The airplanes, I used to work in the airport. Airplanes are nasty. Yes, they do clean them, or they should clean them when they do turns, but oftentimes they don't because they don't have time. So they don't vacuum the thing. They only vacuum it if they can physically see something on the ground. Don't take off your shoes. It's really nasty. Even worse yet, don't take off your shoes and go to the toilet because it's even nastier in there. Don't do that. You'll catch all kinds of germs if you do that. Uh, I've been on a flight before, and a friend of mine showed a picture on Facebook recently, and I hopefully I can find the photo for you for this. Uh, there I was on this flight, and I felt something on my arm, and I looked back, and there was somebody's toes right there, and they were on my elbow. I don't know this person. Why are they putting their foot on my elbow? It was so gross, just so gross. So don't do that. Don't put your foot up on the seat. The other thing too is that some people have longer hair. When you sit down, don't put your hair over the back of the seat, because somebody is watching the screen behind there, or they're putting something inside the thing behind the seat. So don't put your hair back there. Don't hang your coat over there. It's like you are sitting there, but you don't own the back of the seat because your screen is on the back of the seat. So keep your hair and keep your jacket and your clothing in front of the seat, not on the back, not behind the seat. The other thing too is that if you're at the window, your job is to keep that window open. I know this is controversial, but the cabin gets so dark and so claustrophobic when all the windows are closed. And I know, like in the summertime, they're always telling you you need to open the shade, close the shades because it's warm, but they don't tell you to open them when you get back in the plane and have the air conditioner on. So people think they can't open the windows. And so the airplane is so dark and so dingy, and you just feel so claustrophobic. At least I do. And recently I was on a flight and the guy at the window didn't have it. The aircraft didn't have a window at that spot. Some of the airplanes are like that because they have an air conditioned duct that comes down, and so there's no window. So this guy, he had no window, and he was craning his neck to look to like an eighth of a window of the seat in front of him. Meanwhile, the guy next to me on the aisle has a window. I mean, on a window, and he's closed because I had an aisle at the time, couldn't get a window, and he closed the window. It's like, can you guys just switch? Because obviously that guy wants a window. You don't want a window. You should be sitting over there. But it's just so weird. Also, if you're in the aisle, let the person out. If someone needs to go to the restroom, let them out. I mean, you don't own that spot. And like people get really mad. It's like, no, excuse me, I'd like to go to the restroom. And if I need to go to the restroom 10 times, you need to let me out 10 times. I mean, it's annoying, but that's what you get for this, get for sitting at the aisle. So if you sit at the window, you need to keep the window open. But be nice, and if the sun's coming in or something like that, you can tone it down or whatever you need to do. But it's great to look outside. You always see planes going by, all kinds of cool stuff is outside. The world from 37,000 feet or 29 or whatever thousand feet you are and you're landing is actually a beautiful thing to see. So open the window and look out. And if you're in the aisle, let them out if they have to go out, and don't be mad about it. Leave a note below if some of the stuff is really making you mad. The other thing too that's really annoying is when the airplane stops and you're at the back of the plane, sit your butt down, because it's going to take you at least 20, 25 minutes to get off the plane. And so why are you standing? Like, you're just in the way. And also what happens is some people, they will get up from their row, they will take their stuff down, and then they move up. And it's like, no, that's my space. You can't move into the aisle by my row. Where am I going to go? You need to stay where you are. And if there is no room, you need to sit. Problem is that if there's a fire after we land, oh my God, it's going to be bad, because there's all the bags and all the people are in the rows and no one's able to get off the plane. Luckily, that hasn't really happened. Or it might have, I don't know. But when the plane lands, just wait your turn, especially if you're at the back of the plane. It is so interesting to sit and watch people. Some people are actually really annoying. They will run from the back of the plane to the front of the plane. It's like, well, if you wanted to get off early, you could have bought a seat in the front of the plane. Oh, wait, it costs you more. So that's why you didn't. So don't be annoying. These are just some of the stuff that, as when you travel, these are the kind of things that you should do. Also, the other thing about airplane etiquette is when you sit in the middle, both armrests is yours. The people in the aisle and the middle, they have the window. I mean, it's in the middle and the aisle. I'm sorry, the middle and the aisle. No, the window and the aisle. You have the aisle, you have the window. You got the best of the deal. The poor guy in the middle, which is sometimes me, I was actually in the middle seat recently because my flight was delayed and I got a rebooking. And when the lady rebooked me, I had the only seat that was available was a middle seat. I could have gotten an aisle seat, but it was in like row 36. And it would have taken me 25 minutes to get off a plane. And I had a connection again. So I sucked it up and sat in the middle seat. It was actually great. The two people next to me were very nice. And then the next flight, I actually had an aisle, and there's a guy in the middle seat, and I'm like, aha. So, but be nice to your middle seat passenger. I was on a flight once, and the guy, he just like stuck his arms out like that. And I'm like, okay, dude. All right. So I was like this the whole flight, or I sat in front, hugged up like this. because he wouldn't let me do anything. So sometimes people are just weird when we fly. But just be nice to your fellow passenger, and if someone has their headphones on, they do not want to talk to you, leave them alone. But if you're gonna sit, you should say, hello, how are you doing? That's it. You don't have to have a conversation, but it's just common decency to say hello to someone. You're gonna sit with them for maybe an hour, or maybe 14 hours. Just say hello. You don't have to start a conversation. You're just saying hello. That's it. But sitting there and just being like really weird, except when you want to move, you want to go to the bathroom or something, you say, hey, excuse me. Then it's kind of weird. But anyway, let me know if you have any other airplane etiquette and things that annoy you. Oh, the most recent one that I've been seeing now, and American Airlines actually has it as a thing now. They allow people to use their personal headsets, their personal devices to access the entertainment system, which was a thing for a while. And now airlines are like, no, we want to get people screens. I hated it because I'm like, why aren't there an entertainment on the plane? But American isn't quite there. They still have, bring your own entertainment, whether you're in business class or first. Domestically, internationally, the airplanes have entertainment systems. But now what's been happening is people are playing the music loud. So they come in and they're playing, they're on the phone, like, when the plane is ready to go, before the plane's ready to go, and they're talking to people and they have the speakerphone on, or they listen to music or YouTube videos or whatever it is, and the speakerphone is on. Hello, no. So now American comes on and they say, they said this is like a public, that's some really nice statement. And they're saying you cannot be having your music playing loudly. So the last flight I was on, literally a few days ago, this guy, his baby started crying. And he's like, well, just so you know, I had to take my iPad away from my kid because the flight attendant said I needed to turn the volume down. Or you need and he's blaming the flight attendant when it's your kid, it's your iPad. What did you expect? To play this loud thing for the entire flight and disturb everybody else just so your kid would be happy? No, get him a headset. That's what it's there for. And teach him how to use a headset. He's young, he'll get it. And so the kid was crying when he took the iPad away because he didn't have a headset for the kid's iPad, which is really weird, but he didn't. And so he took the iPad away and the kid started crying. And now he's being loud and telling us that it's the flight attendant's fault. And the flight attendant just ignored him because she's like, well, this is the cabin rule. If you don't abide by it, you're off the plane. She didn't really say that, but that's what would happen. But that's the other thing when you're on the plane. Take responsibility for what you do. Don't blame it on somebody else. And for the love of everything, I don't know what the right thing to say, but do not argue with the flight attendant. If they tell you something and you don't like it, don't argue with them. Just shut up and suck it up. Because if you make them mad, you're off the plane. Police is going to come get you when you land, and they're going to escort you, and you're going to go to jail. You do not want that to happen. So that's airplane etiquette. If you can think of anything, let me know. Leave a comment, and we'll talk. This is Kerwin with Travel Talk. Cruisenaut2.com, passrider.com. Have a great trip, and be nice to your fellow passenger. Talk to you soon.